We hitting, we hooping, we hitting and we hooping, sticking, we shooting, we sticking and we shooting. Hits, hoops, hits. That's when the
Hoops.
whole crowd, yeah, that's when the whole crowd just says hoops. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I am Dixon, brought to you here today, sponsored by Mary Jane. Shout out my boy. What we got going on, fam? What we got going on? Tyler, what's good, fam? Talk to the people. What's good?
What up, Cheech? How we doing, my man? Feeling good, feeling great for tonight? Can't wait to dive into this.
I'm feeling good, man. We fresh off of week 3. Feel me? NFL season getting kicked off, getting started is a weird season so far. Bizarre season so far. Bizarro season type shit. Before we get started, like, comment, subscribe. Let's get these algorithms jumping. Let's get this shit booming. Let's get this shit buzzing. That's the only way. Like, comment, subscribe, share, follow us on socials. That's when shit really gets lit. That's when interactions really start popping. Also, listen to us on Spotify, podcasts, Apple, all that. Whenever you got a long ride, feel me? Know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, let's dive right into it. Hometown team, hometown heroes,
Yeah.
Miami Dolphins got their
So,
asses handed to them by the Seattle Seahawks. Geno Smith. What did you learn, from the team?
I learned that we cannot move the ball without Tua because the offense is so predicated on timing, accuracy, and reaction. Um, those are all Tua's strengths, and that's what this is. And it's kind of seemed like they put Skyler in the game to kind of mimic that, but to a lesser level. And Skyler just he holds onto that ball like a newborn baby, bro. He really does.
Hey, I fucking told you he was not it. I told everyone I don't get like, bro, he just stopped playing and then he got better all of a sudden. His rep got better from not
His rep
playing.
got better. Yeah.
I'm like, dude, he is absolutely ass.
If you saw, I mean, I'm not recommending this. It's not that amazing. It wasn't Dak Prescott rookie year, but if you saw those games that he played his rookie season in preseason, he was decisive and he made punches. He looked like a decent rookie. Like he wasn't gonna play because Tua was there, but he seems serviceable. Now he holds on to the ball.
But we've
He's got
seen enough real NFL footage to
five.
know
This is his fifth game, and this has been his by far his worst. By far his worst.
he gets worse every time.
The
But
the
why is
playoff
he
game.
out there patting the ball, fam? You're in the NFL. He's
Yeah,
out there patting the ball like he's at the park with his son. Either throw the ball or run or slide or throw the ball out of bounds. You have to do something. You can't just sit there and pad the ball, fam.
it was a very tough game, tough watch. Even if you like football, but just to think about what we were at week 3 last year, explosive offense, number one, two offense, number one passing for sure. I mean, the beginning of the last year was our peak football fandom to our team. Bro,
Right.
we were on top of the league. We were
Best
eight
offense
three
in
and
the
one.
league.
And just to see what it is now, and I'm not gonna go this way because this is kind of one of our least amount of worries is the injuries that we have on offense. But the quarterback, Boyd or um Boyle came in, right? You know how I feel. I remember we talked last year when we played against the Jets. We absolutely ate this guy for dinner. So I
But that
knew how
guy's
trash he
cheeks as
was.
well.
And he looked better than Skyler. And he's been on the team less like a couple weeks.
Right. Well, he definitely
So
has way more experience as well.
that too, that too. But I know we got Huntley. I think Huntley going to the Pro Bowl that one year was a bit ridiculous because everybody didn't want to go. So I hate when
Right.
people say, "Oh, he was a Pro Bowler." Relax.
So
Like
is Mac Jones.
so, right. Hopefully Boyle or Huntley do something, but it's got to be better than that, bro. It's got to be better than that.
No, I think we definitely will go with Tyler Huntley, aka Snoop. I definitely think he got that swag. I think, South Florida definitely embrace him. And I think we have to go with him. I think he'll be better than what we've seen so far out there.
I don't know how
But
much I don't know how much you put into PFF, like how much you actually like take that as like the
they're
Bible.
cool. They're cool.
They're cool, right? Exactly. I feel the same way. They're cool. Um, the Dolphins have been rated fifth in PFF as an offensive line. So yeah, it has been tough, but other shit is going wrong around it, around as a team, right?
For sure. Play
And
calling and shit too. You got to find out a way to get the ball to your weapons. You got to find a way not to rely on the quarterback so much.
yeah, yeah. So as a whole, the bright side, I think the defense looked well. I didn't think Gino looked good at all. I think his deep bomb to Metcalf, which was dope. Metcalf is still that
I got him on one of my fantasy teams. He's been going crazy this year.
he had a nasty catch. I think it was over Ramsey, but he just it was a he mossed like textbook mossed him, but because how big he is.
He's a physical specimen. He's one of those rare species type.
For sure, for sure. But I didn't think Gino looked good. I think the defense looked fairly well, man. Like it was a 1-2 score game for most of the game. I think they wore down at the end and figured
Of
that
course.
that they could run it down our throat because everybody's been on the field.
Yeah, I
Because we
mean,
go
it's
three
not
and
the fact
out.
that we don't have, our starting quarterback because certain teams have that, but it's the fact that we have no backup. We have no adequate backup. We never had a backup in plan, which makes no fucking sense when your quarterback is Tua. When your quarterback is Tua, then one of your main priorities as a team should be to have a backup, which was what I thought Mike White was going to be. Turns out that didn't pan out. He got released, but there was no backup for Mike White either. That was your backup option, Mike White, and if that didn't go, it's gone. But
Yeah.
man, we flirted with the idea. I would definitely trade for Bryce Young because I feel like this
Nah.
season, listen to me. Hey, this is rare to come by in the NFL to have this star-studded of a roster where the contracts are all lined up. We're only a quarterback away, and we're not even guaranteed that Tua will even come back.
Yeah.
And what's to say he doesn't come back and then get hurt again?
Yeah.
Because if he comes back and gets hurt again, he's done for the rest of the season, guaranteed. So I feel like we need a backup quarterback for now, for the rest of the year, and for the future. So I mean, I don't think it would hurt to get Bryce Young. I think we should be that desperate, honestly. I think we should be moving that urgently, that desperately. Go get a Bryce Young. Go get a Russell Wilson. Shout out Cam Newton. Don't get you, but just shout out you, my boy, because I did throw
I
your
was gonna say we
I
went
did
too
throw
far
your
with that
name
one.
out there in conversations just to troll people. Just to troll people. Um, but yeah, Bryce Young, Russell Wilson, come to Miami. Hey, come on, y'all know what it is. Club
What
living, all that.
what I watched these first 3 weeks or first 2 weeks of Bryce, there is no way I would get him. He had to
Fam, he was shell shocked,
my
bro.
man, my man. If you have to jump to throw the ball, a routine pass, Dixon. You have to jump to look. We know
Yeah.
Tua's not the biggest, right? He's what 6 foot, right? On a good day,
Yeah.
they have to make passing lanes, right? With offensive linemen, you got to move this guy to give me that lane, right?
Yeah.
That's one of our weaknesses. That's how people can, you know, defend us. They break up the passing lanes. With Bryce Young, we would have to make passing highways. Okay, it wouldn't be lanes, bro. You cannot get your quarterback. Now, I'm not saying Bryce Young has
Stop
done.
it. He was at a fucking shit show, toxic organization.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
And
Andy Dalton, the
he
Red
was the
Rocket,
number
year
one pick.
13,
He was the
just threw
number one pick for a
353
reason.
touchdowns, bro.
Against the Raiders, bro.
Yeah, I mean, hey, what? Who did the Panthers just play? Nothing special.
Better teams than the Raiders. Promise you that.
I mean, Wilkins and Crosby were on there. Dalton threw for 350. Wilkins and Crosby.
Hey, that's about it though, because that rest of that defense is absolute cheeks.
Oh yeah, yeah,
But I don't
yeah.
know.
But
I agree what you're saying. Obviously, it looks terrible, but I think it's deeper than talent over there. What's going on? I think just Bryce and the team are just done with each other. So that's why when
which is
Andy
fine.
Dalton
No,
came in, it was like a rejuvenation. It was like a shot to the gut like it was like a turn up, which I've seen that happen so many times in the NFL,
Yeah,
where the backup comes in and the team just turns up because they're not really convinced or they're not really in love with the starter.
understood. I mean, I do hope Bryce finds a new home, but I just don't want to be it to be. I don't
Hey,
want
it's
it to be an
going bad.
experiment.
Hey, Bryce
I don't want
Young's
to be the
having
experiment.
a bad year, fam. First he lost his job, then he lost his bitch.
Oh, you saw that? It's crazy how those athletes just like recycle girls, right?
Shit's disgusting, bro.
Going back to what you were saying about, you know, like financially backing the quarterback position, other than Tua, they have done that. They did with Brissett, Bridgewater, and Mike White. They made them all three of them a top paid backup quarterback.
Last year?
The last 3 years,
Yeah, but what
Brissett.
about this year?
Okay, let me get to it. Let
My
me get to it.
bad.
They did. They paid top money. Now they have $22 million in open money, so I don't understand what they're holding on for, what they're waiting for. So that's another concern. But they paid Brissett, they paid Mike White, and they paid Bridgewater. All came in, were fucking ass. Nothing to brag about. Okay.
I'll even take Zach Wilson at this point, my boy.
I felt like, and I think this might be a trait of McDaniel, is that he might be loyal to a fault. Mike White's been in his system for 3 years. He's essentially drafted him, and that's his guy, right? You've been teaching someone for something for 3 years. You would think they would be a lot more excelled at it, right? Even Dixon, he wasn't even like he didn't pass any tests. He had an F.
Yeah, but he never got no NFL experience. It was just preseason.
Yes, but I mean, he's playing with the ones, he's playing with the twos. I mean,
Hey,
yes,
fam,
I
all
get
I
it.
know is I seen
I
him
get it.
2 games with the Jets go fucking absolutely crazy. I'm talking about over 300 yards passing, got 2 Ws. That's
Yes.
what I seen. I
But
thought we
now,
gave up on him too early. I'm not saying he was going to be special, but I think we gave up on him too early. That's all I'm saying.
but if two is playing how he is, why would you even find out what he is? Two had two of the best. His last 2 years
Because
were
it's
incredible.
Tua, fam. He's 1 hit away from retirement at any
So what are
moment.
you gonna do? You're just gonna like fourth quarter. You're just gonna put Thompson in every game.
No, I'm saying
What are you talking about?
I'm saying you gotta make sure you invest heavily in a backup. And no, fucking Bridgewater and Brissett are not gonna get it done. I think you're onto something where he's so loyal to Tua. I think he's so protective of Tua's confidence that he might not have wanted to get someone that was actually good,
Hmm.
that it would somewhat bother him. You know what I'm saying? So I could definitely see that. I think that was a very strong point he started to get at.
But other than that, the defense it looked good. I felt like, and the play calling was still a question. I don't want to get too much into McDaniel's play calling because I think that's more like, yeah, that's after the fact. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if he scored, if A Chain had 3 runs to the house, we would be talking different. You feel me?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really like how he's been using A Chain. I feel like he's been trying to use A Chain as like a every down,
Yeah,
fucking.
yeah. He needs to add Jalen right back in. He did for
Yeah,
the
you
first
need to
like
mix
four
it up and
plays.
you got to make sure you give A Chain those pop explosive plays, but you can't. A Chain's not a bell back. Like he's not someone
Yeah,
that's gonna drive you down the whole field himself, but you're treating him like that. So that's the one thing I'm skeptical about. But man, let's get on to the next game. Wait, hold on, I fucked up my hair.
yeah. I was gonna say he looked fucked up.
Like weird as fuck. Primetime game. Um, Smooth transition. I said hometown heroes, hometown boys for the Dolphins. This is a hometown hero, hometown boy. Lamar Jackson finally got his first W and the Ravens. Shout out to you. Baltimore. Put the spanky on the Cowboys. I know the
Yeah,
final
this.
score is very close, but them boys were getting spanked. Gotta love to see it. Cowboys hater. Uh, Huge smile on my face. Me, Stephen A, Shannon Sharp, and so many millions more. Tyler, what did you see in that game? You think the Ravens figured it out? Or how
I think the Ravens they knew that Dallas has been having some run stop deficiencies.
major?
Statistically. Um, But I think the Ravens went back to what they're good at. They ran the damn ball.
That's all you got to do is simple.
My man, they had 36 rushing attempts. Lamar threw 15 times.
Lamar should be between 50 and 25 pass attempts per
That's
game.
exact. He had 25. Lamar had I think 11, and then two other guys had four. Right. Lam- Altogether, they had over 200 yards, three touchdowns. Bro, they've been the best rushing team all year. They did
Without
exact.
Henry, they were already the best rushing team in the league.
They did what their game is, and they kicked ass. I don't care what the score was. The only reason why the Dallas scored again was because they got that onside kick, which is the
Empty
first one of the year.
calories, like my boy Shannon Sharp say. Empty calories with Dak Prescott.
But I think they went back to what they know, and Dallas got some issues.
Oh,
Ravens,
Dallas got big ear shoes.
yeah, they do. Their
On
defense still is kind of shaky,
on the
and
defensive end, that's one thing that we've been able to hang our hat on with the Cowboys for the past couple years, especially since whenever Micah Parsons and Diggs is healthy, we've been able to, count on them to be a great defense, but this year they haven't been good at all. And then on offense, I mean, it's just a one-man show with CeeDee Lamb.
CD
No
have as
running
the
game whatsoever. And then, Ferguson here and there, but it's really just a one-man show. If I was opposing defenses, I'm double teaming CD and making you beat me elsewhere because there's nobody else out there.
this last game. CD did not do well, and even though Dak's stats showed he had a really good game, um, it was a lot of empty calories because Ravens ran it up. Ravens almost blew the game. Yes, they did. Um,
They liable to do shit like that.
man, that's what is. I don't get it. I don't know if it's a Harbaugh thing.
That's gotta be down to coaching. Hey, I know everyone loves Jim. Everyone loves Harbaugh. Everyone loves him. But he's had a few questionable folds. You're turning into the Doc Rivers of the NFL, buddy.
He's got a ring though. He's got a ring.
Shout out Flacco.
Um, that's outside of that. I mean, Dak is good, yeah, but I just don't think he's winning
Dak is
games.
mid.
He's you can't be mid if you're a runner up to an MVP last
Well,
year.
and I say mid in terms of like not how the new kids use it. I say mid as in mediocre. Well, he's better than mediocre. You're right. My bad. My fault, Dak.
Fall Dak. But not I mean nothing much more to add to this. Like I think Dak is good. Like you're not gonna do anything crazy, but he's gonna move the ball for you. And
You would have to build the team so crazy around him. And Jerry Jones, he's just such a cheap person when it comes to spending money like that. Such a prideful person that it's not gonna happen. Um, let's move on
I
to
mean
the
he just
next
paid
game.
Lamb. I mean, he just paid Lamb too.
Right. And Dak.
And
Oh no,
Henry.
they big stuck.
Yeah.
Like I said before, they ain't winning nothing. They ain't sniffing no
They're
championship
just
trophy.
so dumb. Why the fuck would they go get Ezekiel Elliott that has been done for 3 years? How do you make him your primary back?
Hey, Derrick Henry was out there and he publicly said he wanted to be a Cowboy.
No
You know what they
way.
said? You know what they
What?
said? You know what Jerry Joe said? Didn't have enough money.
Fuck out of here. Okay.
That's just the type of shit they live with. I mean, bro, I've been said. I've been said what I had to say about them, but y'all are doomed. It's looking rough. On to the next game, man. The Chiefs saved the refs saved the Chiefs again. Hey, this is becoming a weekly occurrence. You know what I'm
Or our
saying?
team just doing dumb shit to them.
Stop it. Stop it.
Come on, Dixon.
The
Go ahead.
Chiefs beat the Falcons. Um, Nighttime game, Sunday night football. Controversial call, fourth quarter, about 4 minutes left. Kirk Cousins with a throw to the end zone. Kyle Pitts, obvious, quote unquote obvious, because when the Chiefs played the Bengals and it was a PI, you and Connor told me that shit was so obvious, even a toddler could see it. So this one got to be the same thing. I don't want to hear this one about it being close. It was live action. No, PI, right?
Mhm.
Conveniently, refs hold a whistle for that one, and then for the other one, they didn't. This is my final synopsis on everything. I'm not saying that the Chiefs can't win without the refs because I've seen them win without the refs. They're that great. For example, last year's Super Bowl, I thought was a perfect, close to perfect officiated game, and the Chiefs won fair and square. But they get the calls in the games that they're not supposed to win. The games that they play bad in, which is okay. It's fine. Some teams play bad sometimes. You deserve to lose sometimes. No, they'll give them that alley-oop. They'll give them that call. I just want one game where there's not a call attached to it. I don't want to hear no controversy. I just want one clean game. Haven't had one all year. And this is the thing. They're going to start building up momentum. Players are going to start getting healthy, and then they're going to have the one seed, and you can't say it doesn't matter because it all matters. In a 17 game season, every game matters.
I agree with that. But Dixon, is it just every penalty that is late in the game that doesn't go the opposing team's way going to be an issue? Because they just win in disgusting games. They're not playing great. But the other, bro, it was they. How much did Atlanta score? 15 again.
Yeah, Atlanta, yeah, they ain't looking
Hey,
good.
let me tell you
Hey,
something, bro. It's what I told you last week. It could have been real close to Cook Cousins. Okay, they could be very. If it wasn't for one drive, they would be 0-3, and everybody would be fucking panicking. Okay.
hey, and they got a monster on the bench, Penix.
Well, yeah, we'll see later in the season about that. I'm excited for that. I don't know his game like that, but just to throw another rookie into this
Hey,
week
and I
into
use my
this
left hand on
circle.
purpose. Get it?
I just think they win another ugly game, the Chiefs. I really do. You are right about the Pitts play. You are right. But to me, it's just every late call seems to be an issue with the Chiefs now.
It's just
Not saying you
magnifying glass.
specifically.
I know. It's like a magnifying glass on it. And yeah, I mean, it's just super controversial at this point. And yo, Mahomes has not played good this year at all.
Yeah, not
Like
playing
at
that great.
all. 5 touchdowns, 4 picks. Like he hasn't played good at all. Hey, I ain't saying nothing bad about Taylor Swift anymore. I already told y'all that. Hey, I seen the documentary. I'm a fan. I'm a Swiftie. Her political stance, I respect it. You feel me? But Travis Kelsey, come here. Hey, you dropped the bag. You signed the bag for the New Heights contract, and you forgot about the thing that made you the bag. You forgot about the number one thing. So you're telling me that the podcast and Taylor Swift got in your head and now you're nowhere to be found on the football field? Makes sense. Just wanted to highlight that for sure.
Which is valid. Which is valid. Yes, which is valid. He did look a bit. You ever seen the movie James and the Iron Giant? Is that what it's called?
The Iron Giant,
Yeah, you ever seen that?
the animated movie,
Yeah,
that's
that's how
that's
he.
one of the best movies ever made.
That's what he looked like running out there last year. Okay, this year it's not crazy to think that he'll decline a little bit even more,
Oh,
right?
of course, yeah, he's getting up there in age.
But you're onto something because if your significant other is a iconic pop superstar constantly traveling the world, y'all are going to be together. Okay, all the other ventures he has,
And
maybe
your fame is multiplied by 1,000.
1,000,
So that just
but
adds pressure.
there's
Paparazzi everywhere you go, headlines, blogs, all that.
there's no way, or at least there's not enough time in the day to tend to what you used to only tend to. And I'm not saying yo don't have a girlfriend or anything, right? But he has other avenues right
Other
now,
priorities.
which he'll be, it's yes, but also this isn't a surprise. He wasn't as good as
No,
last.
and yeah, but I'm not really faulting him for me. I mean, I am because he chose it, but it's like you said, it's not a surprise. Like it's pretty normal. It's pretty standard. But I definitely wanted to highlight it because if we could give him if we're supposed to give him all the credit and all the fame for bagging Taylor Swift, then I'm also just gonna tell you, the cons of that as well. Um,
He'll shake it off.
I see what you did there. Next up, we went from Pat Mahomes. Let's go to baby Pat Mahomes, quote unquote Pat Mahomes Jr. Caleb Williams. His latest showing, he was actually threw for the most yards out of any quarterback this year thus far.
Hmm.
His past outing versus the Colts. Um, I just go off the top. I've been watching Caleb very closely
Hmm.
ever since he came into the draft. I'm a big believer and pretty good. Thus far, what he's shown is just progression. That's all we want to see. That's all we want to
Progression.
see.
Okay. Yep.
Progression from week to week to week. Hopefully, by the time it gets to the middle of the year, he already be progressed enough to have a good game.
Hmm.
But yeah, he's finding Romeo Donze, he's finding the rookie, he's finding DJ Moore, getting more comfortable in the system. He just got to cut back on those turnovers. If he could just eliminate the turnovers, then we could really have a serious conversation. But
The
go
Go
ahead.
ahead. I'm sorry. I thought you
No,
were.
no, no, go ahead, go ahead.
The the first interception that was really bad. Like that was a very rookie throw, like rookie
Yeah.
play. Second one, yeah, yes, it was a pick, but I don't know if it was 100% on him. He played a key play, like you said. He progressed. He is one of the 30 rookie quarterbacks to throw over 50 times in a game. They have no running game right now.
Yo,
Okay.
what happened? Yo, I have DeAndre Swift in one of my fucking leagues. What's going on, fam?
He's not doing anything. Is that's what
And
so
he's
that
getting the ball and he's just not doing nothing. That O line can't produce a hole anywhere, fam.
so I think that's another, crutch in his pocket, you know what I mean? But he had some pretty bad throws too. He still looks very raw. And I don't know how
He
they're
does.
playing right now. I think he's going to need an offensive coach. As of week 3, I think if this
Well, I already
continues,
heard the coach and the OC, either one is gone after this year,
it has to be there.
which is fucking crazy.
They're a frustrating team. Caleb had some nice throws and stuff. He had one that I saw, one wow play where
You
he
talking
broke,
about where he cut back and then spun back around and then
bruh.
threw on the run the laser?
That was like my favorite play of all weekend. That was
He
nasty.
has those special plays. He has those special plays in him, but he has to learn the check down. He has to learn the throwaway. He has to learn that part. And I think that's what separates right now Jayden Daniels from Caleb Williams. Jalen,
Before you move on to him, because I want you to go. But the last thing on Caleb, this is the game I think they actually let it loose a little bit.
I mean, yeah, threw it 50 times.
Like throw down the field, no, like yeah, they did those, screens, checkdowns, all that shit, but like actually drop back pass. Because I felt like
No.
the first 2 games they kind of like eased them into it a little bit.
And this is another thing, like at the moment, everyone was so hyped. Like, all right, you get Caleb Williams in the first pick, and then later on, you pair him with, this rookie receiver. But in reality, they should have paired him with the O line. That's really what they should have done. They should have got Caleb Williams first, and then that second pick they had in the first 10 picks, get an O line because you already got Keenan Allen, you already got DJ Moore, you got Komet, you already addressed the weapons. So then you're supposed to get an O line, and that just reminded me, oh, there's still a shit show of an organization. They still got nothing but bozos over
Oh
there running
shit.
the show. So the fuck you think is going on? Justin Fields left. Caleb Williams came in and did the exact same thing Justin Fields was doing, who's over there thriving in Pittsburgh right now. Come on, fam. Bears been the Bears, been trashed. You forgot about Rex Grossman and them? Come on.
All right, talk to me
Anyways,
about Daniels.
let me talk to you about Jayden Daniels, right? I think that's the main separation between him and Caleb. I think Jayden Daniels played so many games in college. That's one huge thing that people overlook. Um, just shows that maturity, that willing to do the check down, that willing to do the throwaway, which is why UC has no interceptions all year.
Mhm.
Has played a clean year thus far. And I think that's what separates him from Caleb. I think Caleb might be more talented arm wise, more explosive, but he's also more reckless. You know, it's a classic traditional two polar opposites. You could say Caleb's more like the gunslinger, and you could say Daniel's just more like the game manager, like in both good ways, though. You know.
Okay. I mean, Daniels after the Monday night game, he's number one in that
Hey,
those
that was a
three.
welcome to the NFL moment for him.
He played great. He looked great, moved around great. He ran when he needed because the first two games I felt like they ran him a lot,
They
or at
did.
least he took it a lot. I even mentioned to you, I'm like, man, I don't know if that might be a little bit of a red flag of how much he's running.
Right.
He played great. He threw great. Coming out party, like you said, they put up 38. When's the last time that the Commanders put up 38 points? It's been
Got
a
to be the
long
RG
time.
RG3 in them days.
Been a long time. And I mean they outscored 38-33. So if
And
I had
literally had to outscore them. It was a fucking battle. No
yeah,
punts, no
Burrow's
turnovers.
back. Burrow's back. Burrow was surgical last night. Chase played great. They're back.
Hey, thank you, thank you. What you got to say to the Burrow haters? Because I hear a lot of people saying, "Yo, Burrow's washed, Burrow's mid." I say no. To me, Burrow's still elite.
He played great last night, bro. They put up 33. It's not their fault that they got two bombs thrown on them and their cornerbacks got dusted.
Defense couldn't stop a nosebleed,
No.
and that's the same defense that been talking mad shit. And y'all just got to be quiet, be humble. Hey, what Kendrick say? Sit down, be humble.
Hold up.
Anyways, fam. Next up, I want to take y'all. Hey, everyone in the audience, come with me. Let's go for a ride. We're going on a ride with Tyler right now, best driver out there. If for those that know, if you know, you know. Let's take a ride, Sunday night ride with Tyler. What we got going on? Where we going tonight?
All right, my man. On this Sunday night, I'm gonna go for a little bit of ride down the lane where I was completely fucking wrong about the Bills. God damn it, bro. They're even fucking better. They're better at their strengths that they had last year. Josh Allen is playing like I predicted an MVP.
Like you predicted. Like you predicted. That's recorded. That's documented.
They're bro. When I saw DeMar Hamlin was going to start safety and this man couldn't even get on the practice, I mean on the kicking team last year, it's just I was so done with them, and I was so happy that their reign was going to be done because I hate the Bills. Yes, I hate the Bills, but I also know when they're balling, they're 3-0, and they're not just winning, man. They're fucking teams up.
They are.
They're fucking
But
teams up.
but they haven't played much competition yet. So let's see.
I
Let's
mean,
see.
we could tell that now, but we were getting fucked up when the duo was playing. I
But Miami this year hasn't been a good team whatsoever. So that's what I'm
no,
saying.
but going
We
into
haven't
it,
played a good team. No,
we were
because
hoping
even
they would.
Miami after the first game didn't look good at all.
Speaking of that Monday night game on the other side,
Because
we
we see
gotta
what Jacksonville looks like now.
I
Sheesh.
think I've never been part of this wagon with kind of like I know you've seen the graphic where it shows two player stats and one is DJ and one is Trevor Lawrence, and it's like they're the same person. I've never really bought into that, but after last night and more after the first two games, I think we really need to start looking at him from a questionable perspective. Okay, just got paid. He's still got the long hair, which is cool. That's what you want to do. Okay, but he's playing less than subpar.
He's
He's
playing ass. This year he's been absolute ass.
But why? Is it Doug Peterson? Is it what did they change? I'm not too locked into their every move, but I don't see why. They added another receiver in Gabe
He
Davis,
has no
which has never
fucking
been good.
weapons. He has zero fucking weapons. Who are
They've
his
they've
weapons?
gave the money to the wrong players. They gave
Exactly.
B plus A money to C players. That's what it is.
Exactly. And I think maybe the contract was premature. I think the hype maybe was too much. And yeah, man, he hasn't done nothing thus far. And for what he was projected to be, like
Yo,
this
Andrew
was,
Luck,
bro. Listen. Trevor Lawrence is one of the greatest all-time scouted players coming out of college. Like it's Trevor Lawrence, it's Caleb Williams, it's Andrew Luck, like the highest scouted quarterbacks coming out of college. Is he's one of those few. So what he was projected to be and where he's at now, it's nowhere near the same ballpark. We're running out of excuses for him. First it was Urban Meyer, then it was the weapons, and then now he has, substantial weapons and he has a good running game and new coach, quarterback, Super Bowl winning coach, and still looking, if not worse. So
Yeah.
something's going on.
The next move with that organization, Peterson will be gone. That's what it'll be. They'll get him an offensive coach. Peterson did win in Philly, your favorite Super Bowl. Well, great. But as of right now, he couldn't make it work with T. Lawrence.
Hey, but I think you called it out perfectly. I think what Trevor Lawrence been here to do is cut that hair, fam. I
Hey,
think you
maybe
need to listen to
just a
Tyler.
change.
Hey, either cut it or cornrow it, fam. Either get the
Okay.
Travis
I
Scott
like where you're
braids or
going.
just get the crispy blowout. But hey, you heard it from Tyler from Hits and Hoops. That's maybe what Trevor Lawrence might need, a
Just
haircut.
it's like a new scenery. You feel me? Like
Hey, sometimes as a
it's
man,
cool.
all you got to do is go to the barber shop and tell your barber something different. To
Hey,
the
but
point where he looks at you like, whoa, you sure?
and you know what? T. Lawrence, if you're listening, I'm sure you're listening. It's gonna grow back. That's part about it.
That's it, fam.
It's gonna grow back.
That's it. But
Headed over to California to your Niners. You're 1-2. There's no need to panic. Okay, you're out a bunch of guys, but there is one thing you really need to panic about. CMC.
yes, sir.
You need to start worrying. Okay, when my man's starting to go see specialists and
Oof.
all this stuff, let me tell you from my experience.
As a
Okay,
fantasy owner, that fucking crushed me, bro.
you got to start worrying about CMC.
I'm
If
worried.
I mean, I just as a night, he was the best weapon in the league last year.
When you have to start going overseas to see specialists,
Yeah, that's worrisome.
red
That's
flag
worrisome.
as fuck.
That's worrisome. But their team, the team that they lost to, the Rams, I've been a little bit late to this train, and I know he's a Super Bowl winner. He's going to be a top quarterback in accolades, or at least statistically. I think Matt Stafford is a tier two at minimum quarterback.
He's elite.
He is elite,
Yeah, he's elite.
elite for
For
what's going. They
sure, for
don't have
sure, for
Cup. They
sure.
don't have Puka. They are banged up. They're banged up to the banged up. Right. He's an elite quarterback.
Nah, he is. He is. The only bad thing with him is
His broken neck.
yeah, he's one hit away from retirement, just like Tua. But when he's out there and he's able to be slinging, he's still, one of the prettiest throwers of the ball, one of the best arm talents we've ever seen. And yeah, definitely an elite quarterback.
Going back to Thursday's game, we had spoke a little bit about it, but that was Aaron Rodgers. That was A Rod. That was AR-12. Aaron Rodgers is back. And as a Dolphins fan, I hate it. But as an NFL fan, he looks so damn sharp. You don't think so? My man was throwing darts out there because I hadn't seen that the first two games. He was
Versus
throwing lasers out there.
versus the Patriots.
Yes, sir. Okay, touche. I see where you want where you
Nah, it's
want.
fine.
With all the adversity that this team has had between their rookies not even getting on the field, a player dying, the Vikings are the most complete team right now in the league after 3 games.
Who died?
One of their rookies died, got into a car accident. Yeah. It was like their third or fifth round or something like that.
Whoa.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Yeah, for sure. But they're the most complete, well-rounded team right now. They can
Excuse
score.
me?
The Vikings are the most well-rounded team right now in the league.
Hey, James, where you at, fam?
They
Just
are.
come on. You heard what Tyler said, fam.
They are.
That's your invitation right there.
Their defense held the Texans again to 7 points. They've been beating up on teams. JJ has solidified this year as a number one receiver.
Hey, bro, this is the thing that separated JJ from me. one thing is being a great statistical receiver. One thing is being so great that you elevate your team. Like your greatness is a direct correlation with team success. There's been very few receivers with that type of impact. Shout out Terrell Owens, Randy Moss. Like these are the few that impact winning. JJ's one of them.
JJ is one of them, and he is the best receiver this year by far. By far. Sam Darnold, if he plugged
Whoa.
the right plugs in the right system, right this,
Whoa.
it's only been 3 weeks. Yes, only been 3 weeks,
Whoa.
but he has played way above expectations.
He's been fucking crushing it. I'm fucking shocked. I'm mind blown, fam. I no one saw this coming. I mean, a few did, but I didn't see this coming.
I didn't see this one. I mean, when I talked to shout out James, when I talked to him, it's like, yo, this is a gap year going into the season.
Right. This is just a loading year for JJ McCarthy.
Lastly, after having said all that, right, everything that happened in the week, there were eight teams that were underdogs that won this week. This is a prime example of the phrase any given Sunday was this past week of football.
This whole year's been like that, honestly.
And that's all I got on this ride.
Yo, great ride, fam. Smooth ride. Saw a bunch of sights on the way. Listened to a great playlist. Great ride. I got Chichodomus coming up next. Um, he's here to try to avenge himself. Chichodomus back here. Don't worry. I see everything. I see all. I know all. Believers, I'm sorry. You might feel disappointed. You might feel let down. So far, we're 0-2 this year thus far. This season, the week actually, week 4 coming up, we're gonna go for 2 predictions. We're just gonna try to even the score up. We're 0-2. We're just gonna try to get to 2-2 and then just grow from there. The first vision that I see in my future that I see coming true. I think the Miami Dolphins play Snoop Huntley. I think they find Tyreek Hill. They find A-Chain. They find a way to get them the ball. I think the defense continues to be solid and they defeat the terrible, abysmal Tennessee Titans. That's one prediction. The next vision that I see, same week. This is a heavyweight battle. This is a clash of the Titans. Buffalo Bills versus the Baltimore Ravens. I'm not
Mm.
completely sold on the Bills. I'm not. I don't think they've played good opponents, competent opponents. I'm sorry, Miami Dolphins lovers. I just don't think they have. I think this week we'll finally see them get pushed to the test. I think Derrick Henry will have a huge game. And I got the Ravens winning against the Bills. That's my 2 predictions. Believers, don't go nowhere. We were gonna get right back to 2-2. Just stay and watch. Chichodamas out.
Thank you, Chito Thomas.
Thank you, Chichodamas. Thank you. Always a pleasure seeing your weird ass. Anyways, hey, great talking football with you, fam. Feel what I'm saying? Week 3 with the season so far has been fucking crazy. Like we're just gonna get into something non-sports related. Tyler, I believe you just saw Game of Thrones for the second time.
Oh, you want me to do that on the pod? All right, I got
You spun the block on Game of Thrones.
you. Yeah, so
What was your experience this time around? How was it different?
you just see a lot more details, obviously, right? And you can appreciate several things. Again, you know what I mean?
Yes.
You kind of know of like the Red Wedding, you know of like the Battle of the Brothers, like the banger episodes that are like staples, right? But one thing or not one thing, a couple things that I've realized or kind of appreciated more, right? When it comes to some of the relationships, like with um with Jamie and what's Shorty's name?
Who? His mom?
Nah, damn man, I'm sorry. I freaking
The
blown.
sister?
Nah, the shorty that had him in prison, and then they kind of fell in love. Big Blondie.
Oh, the big, yeah, 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 yeah.
Damn, why I don't know. Brianna Tarth. That relationship, it went bad. Like that was one relationship in there that I took for granted the first time because I thought that was one of the best storylines because they actually truly they had love for each other,
That
if
was a
not
beautiful relationship.
romantically. But Jamie always did something that you would remember and be like, "Oh, that's right.
That's why he's
This
a piece of shit.
that's why he's a piece of shit."
So wait, in the end, did he cross her or some shit or
In
what?
the end, he leaves her to pretty much die with Cersei. They make love. They have a they're like everything they've been holding back for half the relationship came
They
into
had great
fruition.
chemistry. They had a great relationship, from
They
what I've
did the
seen.
way he knighted her, and it was that was one of them that I really liked.
The way he blew her black down.
Yeesh. Another thing that I really appreciated more was when Arya was learning about the many-faced god. That was cool the first time, but even second time, just to get a lot more of um, the kind of roller coaster ride that because she was several people at one point and you just kind of had to keep up because
Yeah,
that's what the god
such a dope era.
she was
That's like really
doing.
when they got into like the Mystics art and all that.
Yeah, Littlefinger I hate even more the second time around. He's not one that I was happy when he finally left, and I loved how they set his ass up with Arya coming in looking like the victim, and Sansa came in like a G and pretty much took him out in front of everybody,
Hmm.
and that was really fun. Um, I know this is going to be controversial, but even before I watched it the second time, Brand is one of my favorite characters. I
Who?
thought his character was so dope.
Who?
Brand, the three-eyed raven, the story that this pretty much is all about.
The Jit in the wheelchair?
Yeah,
The Jit that got pushed out, episode one, out the tower because you seen the brother and sister hooking up.
yes, sir. I think he was the best, one of the best characters. The mystique, that how everything really evolved around him getting to the three-eyed raven, him knowing everything and seeing what will happen, what
Right.
does happen, and him at the end
Like a
finalizing
full
his
circle moment.
his whole thing. He's like, when he became king, he said, quote, "Why do you think I came all this way?" Because he knew he was going to be king. Because one thing that they did is they said he knew about the past, the present, and future. They left out the future part a lot of the time that he was becoming the three-eyed raven. They always said, "Why does the Night King want to kill you?" Is because you know the present and you know the past. If we get rid of you, everything is forgotten and everybody can turn into zombies, right? That's why the Night King wanted to take the three eyed Raven out.
Yeah.
They I think they did on purpose. That way the viewer can kind of forget about that because he said the past, present, and
And
future.
those like visions he always had were always showing like the past and shit too.
Yeah, so I thought Brand was an awesome character.
But
I
was there
really
anything that like you didn't notice your first time that you noticed the second time?
just probably a lot more of the settings, like the
You were more
architect.
in tune with like, all right, this is here.
Yes, like the where the map is, like how the map
Yeah.
goes. Just being also watching House of Dragons, like kind of seeing it through there, and just more appreciative of the backdrop. You know what I mean? Like all the buildings that they were in and how they were architected. And the
Gotcha.
last season is very controversial, right? Because it wasn't originally
Very
created.
forced, very rushed.
The first time I watched it, I took it as is. That's what I think when someone puts out a huge project like this that we're not going to see another version of. To be upset at it is one thing, but to like hate it and criticize it, you're just making yourself angrier because you have to take something as is,
Yeah.
even if it's not what you want to see. Correct.
Yeah.
The second time around, the last season was not a good season.
It wasn't. It wasn't. And I like the conclusions that they came to. Like I like
Right.
Daenerys going evil and doing all that, but I feel like there was no progression. It was just one day to the next, like boom. One thing I noticed because I only rewatched the first episode after I watched the whole thing. Oh, anyways, we never talked about this, but Game of Thrones, one of our favorite all-time shows, one of the greatest shows ever, taught me how to be a man,
Okay.
taught me
Right.
about honor, taught me about family, taught me about loyalty, all that. But one thing I noticed just from rewatching the first episode, because I really do want to rewatch it, crazy foreshadowing. Like I remember in the
Oh
first
yeah.
episode, um, Daenerys goes to take a bath, and the servant or whatever who was like making the bath water, she's like, "Yo, it's steaming hot. Be careful." And Daenerys is like, "Oh, I'm good." She just walks in it. It's like boiling, and she doesn't phase her at all. Obviously, that's foreshadow, lets you know Mother of Dragons
Yeah.
or whatnot. But shit like that from the first episode, it's crazy foreshadowing. So I feel like watching it for the second time, you just pick up on mad shit like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Another thing, why is this show so great, right? The writing is incredible, the storylines, the ups and downs, right? But the thing that I appreciated most about watching it the second time was not only the acting for certain people, but the iconic storyline and character that they were. I think Jon Snow is one of the best characters of television.
For sure.
The way he has to go, he's
One of
so
the craziest
honorable,
arcs.
yeah, up and down, with him being a wildling and then taking care of them and being killed for taking care of them, all that, just up and down of all of that. Him be not wanting to be king, but he has the birthright to be king. Oh, and another thing, Daenerys, this whole thing could have been avoided if she wasn't entitled. That's all it is. It's entitlement. A whole show is about her entitlement. But anyways, and then I think, and when I told my wife this, she spat on me pretty much. I think the best actor slash actress in this is Cersei. She is a villain.
Yo, she
She is
got to
a
be the best
villain.
one. Hey, listen. Who's the one you hate the most? That's the best actor. That's just the question. That's it. That's it. Who's
She's
the
the
one
best.
you hate the most?
She is the
Cersei.
best
That is one of the
actress
bro, Tyler.
actor.
When I was watching that show, I would tell my wife, like, yo, if I see this bitch in real life, I would spit on her. Like, I would literally curse her out. I don't care if it's a show, fam. Like, you did that role so good. You got me hating you, like, as a person. Like, fuck the actor. Like, fuck the character.
Yeah,
Great.
went like
Yeah, no,
beyond. Yeah,
no, for sure. I would say I would agree with you. I would say she's the best in the whole show.
yeah, and just to finish it off, I did like Sansa a little bit better this time around. But that first I didn't. And oh, and
Hey man,
Joffrey,
she goes through a lot, bro.
yes,
She goes through a
yeah,
fucking lot, fam.
Joffrey's also one of the worst human beings ever.
See, next to Cersei, I would say that's my second most hated on. And not even Ramsay, because he's just a fucking sicko. But Joffrey and Cersei, hey, and that's why Joffrey had to quit the show. Like the real life actor, he had to quit the show because he was getting like,
What?
yeah, he was getting death threats and crazy hate mail and all that type of shit. Yes, sir.
Really? I didn't know that.
That's why you'll never see that boy acting again.
Wow. One big hole that I did see in this that I thought about was in one of the first seasons. Um, the doctor that wouldn't go against. He said he wasn't a doctor, but he was a medical person. The guy that made the mountain like a zombie,
Yeah.
right? He, for whatever reason, rose up the ranks very quickly in Cersei's book with no type of, yeah, he made her a monster, but that was it.
It's just like one season to the next type shit.
It was just like all of a sudden he was hand when she was queen, which I
Bro.
was like, he didn't really do anything to kind of catapult to where
Made
he
her a
is.
monster is crazy.
That was it. But yeah, Game of Thrones was awesome. But it's I don't if you haven't seen it, watch it because it's really one of the best shows of all time, and it takes me a lot to
Nothing
dig
like
into a
it.
show. Yeah,
Nothing like it.
it's really one of the greatest shows of all time, of all time. But that's all I got for God.
Hey man, great review. Great review. To the people out there, if you made it this far, we love you. We appreciate you. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Tyler, holla at them next week. Get them at them next week.
All right, bro. I'm gonna holla at you, man. Have a good weekend. Have a good Sunday. Have a good Monday night. Football again, 2 games, and we will see you next week for week 4.
Hits and hoops jutsu.